You are watching Stripped Down. Big hello to everyone watching out there on Access Communication and on the Shaw TV networks. We got a big night for you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on Stripped Down, it's Slypstreme. You are watching Stripped Down's 182nd episode. Welcome to Stripped Down Slypstreme. That's right, Slypstreme on Stripped Down. I'm going to make mistakes all night trying to say those words together, but it is a collision tonight. Slypstreme and Slip Down. How did this night come together? Through email, obviously. That's how it always happens.
Yeah, you know what? I'd heard about the show and fired off an email back in October, and you were like solid book back then for that season, so you said best way to get a hold of us for the next season is just keep harassing me come December. Just keep plugging away, and I bugged the hell out of you, I have to say. Yeah.
I don't know how real venues do it because polite people that apply for Stripped Down, they fall through the cracks. They email me once and then they're kind of off the radar. And I actually tell people just keep emailing me because then it just becomes like I've got to email a day from this band for 2 months. I got to shut them up and just get rid of them. So I'm putting them on the show. It's a flawed system and I don't know how to fix it. But welcome to Stripped Down Slypstreme. And it's funny spelling too. There's like a L and a Y and a EME.
I think there's a
2000
T in there too.
2009 is when Slypstreme came together.
Yes.
Take me back in time. Take me through the magical porthole back to 2009. What happened? What brought this on?
What happened?
How did
Well,
that work?
this is Tyler. Tyler's my cousin by marriage, my wife's cousin.
Okay.
And he's always played guitar and does it very well. And basically, we kind of, after I met she's now my wife, kind of got together a few times and jammed a little bit with some other friends. And the original incarnation of the band got together back then, and we started kind of, working on ideas for our own stuff as opposed to just playing somebody else's stuff. And we all were on the same page as that at the time, and we all are now too. And so from there, it's just kind of evolved.
So back when you were doing covers, what covers were you doing?
We still do covers.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, to start off with, it was just whatever he knows. He's like a parakeet with a guitar, right? So
But what genres are we talking
90s
about here?
music.
90s music, nice.
80s, 90s.
a lot of collective soul stuff,
Yeah.
the hip, Nirvana a little bit here and there.
Our Lady
Smashing
Peace.
Pumpkins.
Was that where the bonding took place? It was like, we should do Disarm, and everyone was like, oh, that's such a good
I
song.
think it was more the original music.
we're all
Yeah, that's where the
into,
bonding took. Yeah.
Originals. That's,
That's sweet.
More
That's a.
To me, learning a song is like homework.
So did you play gigs as like a mostly cover band?
No.
No, we've
So
never.
you-
no.
We've
You've
never
never
been mostly-
seen that
yeah.
side of the profitable
Half and
fence.
half,
No.
sort of.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no. It's always been a mixture of covers and our own music, just to kind of keep it interesting for people so that they can recognize some stuff. And then over the course of time, we've got, literally tens of fans that understand our songs and know some of the words too. So
There was the Guns N' Roses cover band. I think they're still together, called Mr. Brownstone.
Yep.
From the city.
Yep.
And they also had their original band, Screamer.
Screamer, yeah,
And I always thought that was so genius because they would open for themselves.
yeah.
And I could feel their frustration because, they had good original music, but people wanted to pay for Guns N' Roses.
Right.
Correct.
So they'd make money.
Yeah.
They'd give the crowd the original music,
trade-off
go off
sometimes.
stage, come back, and play Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
So that, like that. I can't recall another local band that's followed that model, but
There
they,
you go.
they were
really
quite
cool.
they were quite
It's a
well.
neat idea.
So what would it be? Would it be a Smashing Pumpkins cover band or a hip
don't
cover
know.
band if you were
Ah.
forced to do it?
I don't think
That'd probably be collective.
Probably collective soul.
Yeah.
there's a bit of collective soul in there for
Yeah.
sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the most influential time periods for you guys, the mid '90s.
I suppose as a whole.
We're all pretty different
everybody,
musically, I think, though. Like our main interests. Like I listen to a lot of Rush and a lot of classic rock, but also a lot of newer progressive stuff. I think Tyler loves the. He's a big Collective Soul fan, that's for sure. But some of the more modern rock Tyler gets me into that I'm not as familiar with because I'm too busy listening to stuff that was made 20 years ago.
Right.
You want to hear my best happy sad sandwich Collective Soul memory?
Sure.
Okay, I'm at Edgefest '97. Had just loving Collective Soul. They just get off the stage. I'm like waving at them. Tea Party's about to come on, and someone whispers in my ear, "Princess Diana just died." I was like, oh. And seriously, like every time I see a Collective Soul album now, I'm just like, oh, Princess
man.
Diana.
That's where
It
you
really,
were.
really did like ruin my Collective Soul experience.
Like even now, it was 20 years ago, where you're like, damn,
Princess, why?
Princess, why?
She brought it to the people. Like,
bad.
Anyway, all right, let's move past this. The first song you guys
depressing.
performed tonight to kick off the show, what was that?
That song is called Staring, that song's been around a long time actually.
Yeah.
It's had a few little tweaks and changes here and there, but
As has the band, really, since
yeah,
since
it's
the
as
start,
long as
for
the
sure.
band basically the
Yeah,
first
we've
year.
got a lot of different members in this band too, but
Yeah,
We'll go through the behind the music in a bit here.
yeah.
But you do most of the writing then, or
Well, everybody does the writing.
Okay, well,
the,
this should
the
be fun
song
then.
ideas usually come up with.
well then fight amongst yourselves. What was that song about?
yeah, Brett, go ahead.
Well, everybody
I was gonna say, Tyler, take it. It's your riff.
Well, a lot of it's just how we write our songs. Is a lot of it's based on just the music first. Guitars, bass, come up with the riff, and Brett. We kind of let Brett take.
Brett
care
will
of the
just
rest.
sit on a couch with a pen, and we'll be working on a riff. And 2 seconds later, he jumps up. He's like, "Okay, guys, you gotta check this out." and it's amazing right out of the box, and it comes together pretty. He's a lot faster than the rest of us, I think,
Yeah,
coming
as far
up
as
with
the
his
songwriting,
parts.
Brett does most of the songwriting. So.
Lyrics are all
Yeah.
Brett, yeah.
Sometimes you have to be like, hey guys, we've rhymed through with me like 8 times the song already.
Right.
We got to move past that.
Right.
Nice.
But that song is basically just kind of about the ever-escalating state of the world and all that's going on, and one person's stand back and try to understand it.
Band with a message, I like it. This makes
A little bit.
this makes the second part of my my night easy when you guys have good stories. Like we've written songs that are past like, oh, I was just trying to bang that girl in the bar. It makes
He
my job a
succeeded.
little
He's
easier.
married.
Or is that or can I expect that answer for the next 7 songs?
Yeah, that song is also about the state of the world.
Okay, awesome. Where do we go next? Song number 2.
Song number 2. It's called Focus.
Focus. Take it away. Slypstreme.
Thank you.
Don't you cry for me. Oh, I can't conceive yourself full of me. Oh, I think this is a sadness. It's got your heart to
We are spending 60 minutes with a local band, Slypstreme. We have to gear up for our first commercial break, but stick around. We got lots more Stripped Down coming up right after this. Mr. Sicily Pizza and Pasta is proud to sponsor community programming on Shaw TV. Mr. Sicily, located at the corner of 51st and Miller in the north end of Saskatoon. 975-0345.
The following sponsors are proud to support local community programming on Shaw. Long and McQuaid, 721 43rd Street East, Saskatoon, 244-0509, or online at long-mcquaid.com. Ultimo Euromoto. (204 3rd Avenue South in downtown Saskatoon), 664-6640.
Do you know where your tap water comes from? It can come from one of two sources, groundwater or surface water. Surface water often begins as snowfall that accumulates in the winter and melts into our rivers and lakes. Cities will treat it to get rid of most of the impurities and then send it down the pipes, under the streets, and into our homes. The problem is, the quality of water is being damaged by our activities, and as our earth warms up, there may be less water available in the future. How can we look after our water resources? Find out where your water comes from and how it is being protected. Use less when you're showering, brushing your teeth, or watering your lawn. And never pour toxins like cleaning solutions down a toilet, sink, or storm drain as it ends up in our rivers and lakes. It's our turn to take care of this planet, and I think we can do a better job. What do you think?
And we are back. We're spending 60 minutes with local band Slypstreme. That's right, Slypstreme on Strip Down. Still nailing it every time. You guys having fun? Having fun?
A lot of fun.
One segment down. So you're driving here in all separate cars. Some of you came together.
Usually we do that. but
Okay,
not
well,
this
let's
time.
go even further back. You're jamming.
Yeah.
You're getting prepared, mentally focused for Strip Down. What's the conversation like? What are you guys talking about in between songs? Like,
What?
That
this
sounds
is
good.
going Saskatchewan wide. Like, you know that, right? There's people all over Saskatchewan, North Battleford, PA, Regina, Swift Current.
Exactly. Like, what did we talk about? I can't remember.
Chamberlain.
We're just worried about what we're gonna drink.
There.
What are we gonna?
Honestly, when we're playing a song, we just mainly worry if did it sound good to us? Were we fully into that? We're pretty critical. We
Whether
pick
it's
each
just
other
a jam
apart a
or
little
whether
bit.
we're going to strip down.
And
whatever.
Even in the jam space,
same.
we've reworked songs because we weren't satisfied with certain solos or
Yeah.
certain chord variations. You know, we tweak things just to sound better for ourselves.
So for this, basically what we did is we discussed which songs we wanted to do to kind of make sure that, you know, all of the watchers got to see, you know, exactly what we're about. The heavier side, the softer side, stuff like that. Because we do kind of try to cover the full
gamut.
range of everything so that the people with the lighters in the audience can use them if it's a no smoking place. you know.
Yeah.
And if the people want to mosh, then we play Collective Soul.
You guys need to.
That
you
happened
guys
at our
need to
last show.
write, You need to write the ultimate song where people can mosh with their lighters. We've
already
got it.
billionaires.
Yeah.
It'd be like the fast part and the slow part, and they'd freeze.
Yeah.
Everybody'd be like, "No, hold me up, buddy. Don't drop me." They're gonna start rocking again.
Good idea.
Yeah, you can have that.
Can I have it?
You can have it. It's
'Kay.
yours. I'll sign off on it right now.
Done.
Right before we jump to commercial break, the second song you played. Again, I like asking this question because
Right.
it's kind of a community effort. I hear the
Right.
songwriting and the lyrics. So break down the last song, the first commercial break song.
Okay.
For
Well,
those
that
of
song.
you with the PVR, back it up, listen to the song again. Here's what it's about.
Play it in slow mo.
Yeah, we should all just pause so they think there's something wrong with the PVR.
Yeah.
I like that. You look good frozen like that.
Thank you.
That's
I
a
hear
good
that a
pose.
lot. Thank
You
you.
could be an excellent mannequin. I'd hire you just in my yard, like $20 a week. What do you think?
Better than a flamingo.
I am disturbed and quite slightly curious. So
There you go.
$20 a week.
25. Okay,
20
I'll
bucks a
bust-
week.
I'll
That's
bust
18
that.
more than Shaw pays me. So
Ooh.
deal. All right, let's get this back on the tracks. The song. What was it about?
Well, the song Focus is basically kind of the backbone of it is one person in a relationship trying to help the other person to basically focus on what's important and not to be so self-absorbed. What are your feelings like? Try to think about me a little bit here too, and we kind of hope that plays into other people's lives, so that someday, if more than our tens of fans hear it, now hopefully they can say, that's right.
That's right.
You know what? You don't have to bring me a beer tonight.
Yeah. That
I'm thinking about you, honey.
housewife in Delisle, or
Yeah,
took the
exactly.
night off.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
welcome. This
Exactly.
is what we do here at Strip Down. We
Yeah.
make things happen.
Yeah.
We set wheels in motions.
You sure do.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. All right. Should we get to another song? Should we get to song number 3? Because when we're done, it's one of my favorite parts of the show. We are going
Is
to
it?
talk to this week's audio engineer.
Okay.
So,
I thought you were going to say mud
Oh,
wrestling
it's
or something.
halftime. Cheerleaders and stuff, but
Oh, well.
Wrestling at
We'll go with
halftime?
your idea.
we could try to do a routine. We got a song to come up with one. So,
Okay.
all right. So this next song is going to be
It's called New Thoughts.
New Thoughts.
Yep.
And then coming out of New Thoughts, we're going to talk to this week's audio engineer. So that's good times.
Okay.
All right. Take it away.
Sounds good.
Slypstreme.
Thank you.
You are watching Strip Down with Slypstreme, and now is the part of the episode we talked to this week's engineer, our audio engineer. I haven't been back here for a long time. This is our original audio engineer, Colton Wall, and I used to do this all the time. I'd invade his privacy here, his personal space, just because he was kind of like a germphobe and he liked his bubble, so I'd do this just to make him uncomfortable. But continuing with the February of May, as I'm calling it, ladies and gentlemen, May Trohack.
Hello Saskatchewan, hello everyone.
You're back for another
Yes.
complex week.
Oh yeah, this is
The
more,
first week
complex,
was
yeah.
I can't remember the name of the band.
First week was.
It was a complex
Yeah,
setup,
it
and now
was-
again,
yeah.
are you digging the Slypstreme sound?
I am digging Slypstreme sound.
This is more of your
yeah.
genre. You like the
Yeah,
rock.
I like rock. Yeah.
And speaking of rock, you missed 2 weeks ago when we did the Valentine's Day episode with Alyssa Arneson. We were in here listening to Alyssa Arneson play lovely, lovely melodic songs on her guitar, and you could not have been at a more different show. You were at Marilyn Manson at TCU Place, so I want to hear it. I want to hear it from you. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened at Marilyn Manson?
Okay, so he was gonna start singing Antichrist Superstar. He had his podium rushed in, gets on the podium, starts doing his big rock star thing, and then all of a sudden he puts 2 fingers down his throat and then starts to vomit.
So
and we're like, okay, maybe that's a little dehydration. That happens. Everyone does it all the time. So.
you think he did it himself? Like he made himself vomit,
I think
or
he probably felt so sick that he wanted to vomit.
right there on stage?
Right there on
Or do you
stage.
think that was like he knew he was gonna vomit, so he's like, oh, this is my saving face.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
make it look
think
like I
so.
made myself, because that's rock and roll. I don't know. But other than that, it was a great show.
It was a great show. Yeah, I was really pleased with the lights and the confetti and the whole showmanship of him. Pushing through his flu and stuff like that. So it's awesome.
Another connection we made today. I did not know you're a wrestling fan.
I am a wrestling fan. The reason why my middle name is May is actually because I was named after Mae West.
No, you were not.
Yes. Ask my mom. Hey mom. Yeah, she watched a lot of wrestling in the 80s, and then she just oh, here's my accident. What should I make her middle name? Oh, I love wrestling, so May West. So I go by May. Have been for 12 years. So.
That's what happens when you keep practicing the holds. Something. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll save our chant for next week. We had something good worked out.
We did.
And next week it's officially going to be the March of May.
March of May.
The March of May, which is even more rock and roll. Okay, I think we're just about out of time. Thanks again. It's sounding great. You're doing a heck of a job.
Awesome.
And
Pleasure to be here.
yeah, enjoying your time here in Strip Down.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
And your handle again for if people want to get a hold of you, maybe get some audio work.
Oh, yeah. If you guys want to come into the studio, best way to do that is to tweet me out MMAETRO. So Metro, basically, in my name.
This is always an awkward transition, but I'm going to throw it back to the band. Ladies and gentlemen, Slypstreme.
Teach me climb. Teach Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice. You are watching Strip Down with Slypstreme. That song was...
Climb.
Other than rocking the hell out of the studio, that song was Climb.
Climb.
Okay, we have to gear up for our second commercial break because we're going a little heavy on time. But before we do that,
problem.
we do this thing every week now for the last little while because we're counting it down to episode 200. That's pretty big for Strip Down. Thank you. Yeah, let's clap about that.
Applause for that.
So each week we're doing a quick look back at a show that happened in the past that for whatever reason just doesn't usually come up in conversation. And I was researching this show a couple weeks ago, and I was going to use it a couple weeks back, but then I saw, hold on, these guys played with Slypstreme back in the day.
Whoa!
Okay, are you ready for it? Episode 46, back in May 5th, 2009. Who was it? It was Kelvington's own No Fixed Address.
Love those guys.
Those guys.
What is the deal? Are they still going?
Yeah, they sure are. Yep. Absolutely. Going
They
strong.
appeared on Strip Down, went away, and I have not heard anything about them since.
So good too.
And they're still located in Kelvington,
Yeah.
kicking out music. So where did you guys play together? Like, was it a few shows? Was it?
We played at the Odeon with them and at the Roxy Fez.
And the other ironic thing, and I'm not making this up for the purpose of TV, is like 3 weeks ago I was going to use No Fixed Address as my look back. Then I said, wait a minute, they played with Slypstreme. I'm going to save it for that week.
Yeah.
Not 7, 8 days ago, I got an email from just a fan that says, I love the show. I love watching Strip Down. There's a band that you should have on. They're out of Kelvington. They're called No Fixed Address.
Holy
And
crap.
I was like twice in like 2 weeks after like a 4-year
Karma.
absence.
meant
So
to be.
it was really rewarding though, because I was like, oh
Sweet.
man, you weren't watching back on May 5th, were you? 2009. Send. Here's
Yeah.
a picture of me and Kelvington's own no Fixed Address.
There
So
they are.
It's like we do it all, man.
Yeah.
Name a band that hasn't been on Strip Down.
Exactly.
Do it. I dare you, viewers. All right. That was angry towards the end. We have to take our second commercial break. We got lots more music with Slypstreme coming up right after this.
All natural things on Earth and how they interact is biodiversity. From the microscopic to the mighty. From the smallest body of water to the coldest. From underground to the highest ground. When biodiversity is rich, we can count on the natural world to produce the oxygen we breathe, filter and purify the water we drink, and grow the plants we rely on for food and medicine. Due to human activities, biodiversity is being lost faster than nature can replenish it. So let's do what we can to help preserve biodiversity. Create natural spaces and plant native species. Take part in a wildlife survey. Get out and experience Canada's amazing variety of wildlife. And that's just a start. To learn more about biodiversity and how you can help protect it, visit hww.ca.
The following sponsors are proud to support local community programming on Shaw. Long and McQuaid, 721 43rd Street East, Saskatoon, 244-0509, or online at long-mcquaid.com. Ultimo Euromoto. (204 3rd Avenue South in downtown Saskatoon), 664-6640.
Ladies and gentlemen, Slypstreme.
No remorse, we move on to the next stage. Neither of us afraid to turn the page. The sun is shining, another beautiful day. When it's time to smile,
Saskatoon's own Slypstreme. Slowing it down a little. That was
Little
beautiful.
bit.
What was that song?
That song is called Smile.
Smile.
Yeah, and that song was basically another, you know, similar to some of the other types of songs we write about relationships and how, you know, it can be adapted to just about anybody's life. But Tyler said one day, you know, Brett, we should write a song that is happy. And there's something happy, and the message is happy, and it's always happy all the way through, not like there's an up and there's a down, and there's an up and there's a down. So that song is basically
A happy song.
about being happy.
That one was written long distance too, wasn't it? You were
Over cell phone.
Over the BlackBerry.
Record the guitar on the cell phone. Send it to Brett.
And then you guys send it. Then
Lyrics?
Brett send it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sang into my Apple
Tic-tac-toe.
computer and sent it back. And
Plug.
Technology.
yeah,
That's good.
Thank
what,
you.
what an age we live in.
Yeah.
If people want to get their hands on your music, how can they do that? Are you guys currently recording? You did some recording kind of out of home base?
right.
Slypstreme
We
home
do.
base?
We do well, you know, a lot for our benefit and for the benefit of getting our music out there quickly. But we do
in a demo form.
in a
right?
demo
Yeah.
form, exactly. So we do it at our jam space basically, and we've got our sound engineer Jeremy that helps us out with all that, and he does a nice
all
job.
of it's for free on Reverb Nation right now /Slypstreme or Facebook.com/Slypstreme.
So not,
Like,
not
join
too
the
worried
band.
about making money at this point, eh?
Well, at the
We're
moment, no.
recording with producer Ryan Anderson. We paid him a while ago, and we're actually finally gonna, after 8 months of giving the guy a deposit, we're finally gonna go in
Hey, Ryan.
and actually record with him. So yeah, we're scheduled for that
His
within the next
time.
within,
Ryan's
within
an
the
avid
month.
fan of Strip Down.
Yeah.
So.
So,
Yeah.
so get in while it's free, I guess.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
Soon we'll start charging you.
So is
might
there
be-
like
It's
a
gonna get
projected
expensive.
date or something? Completion? You want to have like a...
Well, we're starting with him within the next month, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the
Yeah,
goal.
we'll probably
Like,
start within the next few weeks
Yeah.
back to Ryan and see how things go with the first few tracks. And
4 or 5 song demo. I
Yeah.
guess, and
And
work on
long-term
that.
plan, you guys are pretty stationed in Saskatoon, a lot of marriages and families, so commitments, that's the
Commitments,
rock and
yeah.
roll way of putting it.
Yeah.
I got mad commitments up
Yeah,
here.
got
Yeah.
bad commitments.
Yeah.
one is 1 and 1 is 4.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So kind of staying around, not touring too far from Saskatoon.
Not a lot of touring too far. We've taken the technology thing to the level where,
Okay.
you know, are we going to be in every corner of the province, or are we going to be in every corner of the province and not have to be there?
Well, I think we're
As
waiting
much.
to see on Nest Creek this summer.
Yeah.
They should have those announcements pretty soon in March, and if we nail that, you'll be able to see us at Nest Creek for sure. And then we've got other stuff in the works. Potentialities are brewing.
Golden.
Whoopi Goldberg hasn't called us back, but we're working on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Whoopi Goldberg, there's nowhere to go with that.
I know it's
Yeah,
it's just-
exactly.
you're screwed.
That's what
Should've
we call.
mentioned
That's what
Halle
we call a
Berry.
hard edit. Okay. I was looking up the word Slypstreme, and it's funny because I should get director Jay Neufeld out here to read this because this is like right up his alley. So, quote, a slipstream is a region behind a moving object in which a wake of fluid, typically air or water, is moving at velocities comparable to the moving object in comparison to the ambient fluid through which the object is moving. You still with me? The term slipstream also applies to similar region adjacent to an object with fluid moving around it. Slipstreaming or drafting works because of the relative motion of the fluid in the slipstream.
Nice.
What?
If you've ever been on the highway walking along and a semi flies by you and you get sucked forward, that's the slipstream.
We suck.
That's the slipstream.
I have a third grade education, and you made me read that today.
Good job.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
gonna bump you up to fifth. That's
I was
a
trying
free
to channel
promo,
my
too.
inner
I
Jay
don't have
Neufeld at
any-
the beginning with
I don't
the
have
job.
any,
Okay,
I
yeah.
don't have any
Also,
qualifications
Slypstreme
for
was a
that.
2007 movie starring Anthony Hopkins,
Yes, it was.
Christian Slater,
Different spelling.
and Jeffrey Tambor from Arrested Development. Yeah. Aging screenwriter Felix something has lived his life in 2 states of existence, in reality and in his own interior world.
Right.
Sounds pretty cool when you put it like that. Yeah.
So I got to know if Slypstreme, the band, made a movie. What would the synopsis be? What would be
Bacon.
Bacon?
5 guys juggle their lives to try to make rock and roll on the
Exactly.
side.
Okay. So who would be? What would be the antagonist?
My kid and my wife. They're preventing me from making rock and roll. That's all. They're beautiful though.
The antagonist is the
Wow.
lack of a money tree.
Well, I'd like to say to my wife, "I love you, honey."
Did I just kind of throw her under the bus?
You threw her hard under the bus.
That's
and
okay. There's a
you put it in reverse after too. Yeah, that's fine. There's a special late Valentine's Day message for you. And in case you want to, go out and rent Slypstreme, the only violence and gore, according to IMDb, is, quote, a cuckoo clock is shot repeatedly. Bam!
Nice.
There it is. Okay.
We should do that.
We have to take our final commercial break, but we wrap things up with Slypstreme and play Dylan Evans Wants to Know right after this.
Do you know where your tap water comes from? It can come from one of two sources, groundwater or surface water. Surface water often begins as snowfall that accumulates in the winter and melts into our rivers and lakes. Cities will treat it to get rid of most of the impurities and then send it down the pipes, under the streets, and into our homes. The problem is, the quality of water is being damaged by our activities, and as our earth warms up, there may be less water available in the future. How can we look after our water resources? Find out where your water comes from and how it is being protected. Use less when you're showering, brushing your teeth, or watering your lawn. And never pour toxins like cleaning solutions down a toilet, sink, or storm drain, as it ends up in our rivers and lakes. It's our turn to take care of this planet, and I think we can do a better job. What do you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, Slypstreme. You're watching Stripped Down with Slypstreme, and man, I'm sweating after that song, and I was just listening. That was, other than the best song of the night, what's it called?
Under the Knife.
Under the Knife. Does that have a deep song where you're just like, man, that sounds awesome. Let's call it Under the Knife, and let's just rock the hell out of that.
Honestly, we were searching through the lyrics for something that just popped, that hit the song feeling, like you said, and we were going through, talking it out, and Under the Knife came up, and it's like, yeah, that's right. It feels like I'm under the knife when that's on.
Yeah, it's a, again, kind of, it's a story, right? It talks a little bit about this one person's need for something a little bit more, and repetition, the drudgery of life. That's part of the chorus, and whoever this person is partnered with in their life does not understand that Jeremy's bored, but I want more.
I rolled into the jam space later on a Friday night, expecting them just to be shooting the whatever, and they're kind of working on something. And I was like, I heard them play it once through. I was like, oh damn, and locked in with that. And the next day, Tyler comes by. And we're like, Tyler, you gotta come up with something to this because it's feeling hot, and we're loving it.
It's fun.
Awesome. All right, it's time to play Dylan Evans Wants to Know. Now, you guys may not, there's some cheering.
Okay.
You may not think you may think you don't know Dylan Evans, but you do, because some of you were talking about watching the show in the past, and you saw the Stripped Down episode featuring Pirate Fridays. They went to Tony Kazoob's old studio, recorded a song.
We know him.
Dylan Evans is the co-frontman of Pirate Fridays, as well as a loyal volunteer here on Stripped Down. He's always stuck there in the control room.
Dylan.
Yeah, he's always in the control room. He doesn't get to be in here where all the magic is, so he's feeling a little down one day about missing out on this experience. So I said, why don't we give you a weekly segment? So he gets to ask one question each week. So I go back there and say, what does Dylan Evans wants to know? What does Dylan Evans want to know this week? So this week, Dylan Evans wants to know, as a band, what is your most frequent impulse buy? I guess like if you're on the way to a jam, what's the one thing where it's like, oh, I got to stop and pick up?
Long McQuaid.
That's Jeremy. He's
anything, the whole store.
He'll buy a new board or a new monitor or something worth $3,000.
Well, just today I went and bought a coffee mug.
From Long and McQuaid?
No, from Max.
Oh, okay.
if they had coffee mugs,
it was a Gibson.
You'd have a case by now.
I would buy one.
That just derailed.
Jeremy's the only one that randomly buys things. The rest of us are pretty conservative.
But Long and McQuaid is the place.
I don't spend less than $100 when I go there.
They're also a huge supporter and sponsor of Stripped Down.
Sweet.
In a couple minutes when I do my wrap, I personally thank Long and McQuaid.
I think I've personally bought all my main bases from Long and McQuaid.
Yeah.
Some of them not in this province though.
But they're there.
Yeah, they're there. That's the beauty.
One thing we didn't talk about that I wanted to talk about really quick is when I was also Googling Slypstreme before, there's also a wilderness first aid website. It's called Wilderness First Aid That Sticks to Your Head. Wilderness First Aid That Sticks to Your Head. wildernessfirstaid.ca. wildernessfirstaid.ca. And I cannot make the connection, but they have the word Slypstreme.
Well, we're currently
all over
in
their
website.
website.
With them,
Yeah.
There's a $50 million lawsuit that we're going through. I don't want to get too much in the details, but
Yeah.
we're suing the pants off them because we can't figure that out.
It would make sense, though, because they've just nonsensically plastered the word all over their website. There doesn't seem to be any connection to it.
They thought it was cool. They thought it was cool.
I took it as a compliment.
I saw those guys. Those guys were awesome. Okay, we have to wrap things up, so you're going to play us out of here. Again, I have to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Ultimo Uramoda, The Hairstyle Inn, Long McQuaid, and Mr. Sicily Pizza. You guys had an odd request, too. You wanted me to wear a sexy shirt.
Sexy.
Beautiful.
I don't know.
Is that from our boy at Ultimo?
I personally think any shirt I put on, I make it sexy, but that's what my wife says.
He should be thanking you then.
Yes. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at strippdown.sk, and you can find us on Facebook as well. Where do people go for you, really quickly, to find these guys online?
Facebook.com/Slypstreme. ReverbNation.com/Slypstreme.
And
we're there.
It's spelled incorrectly. You don't want to get the
SLYPSTREME.
Yeah, you don't want to get the Christian Slater. You don't want to watch people shooting cuckoo clocks.
No.
In 1997.
No.
Okay.
No, you sure don't.
For the last time tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Slypstreme. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
lifestyle is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best.